This picture speaks volumes. It not only reminds me of my growth, but it actually confirms to me the reality that it really doesn't matter how qualified you are for a particular position or how much you think a certain reality is for you, that some things never really happen as we see them happening. So on this day, I was so excited to interview for a job that I knew was just for me. I mean, reading the job description and reading the qualifications and the expectations of the job, I was like, oh my God, they literally wrote this job description just for me. I could literally check off everything from the education that was required to the responsibilities of the position. Everything seemed like it was just for me. And, this was during COVID, and a lot of things have gone virtual now. So, as you can see, I put on my little, I don't wear suits and dress like this, and I'm never really that girl that can dress the part, and that probably has kept me from so many positions, because I just can't understand why what we wear matters more than what we bring to the table. But that's a conversation for a different day. But on this day, you can see I got my camouflage pants on and I got the coat jacket. It might have had a few wrinkles or whatever, but I was ready to do this interview. And I must say, it was one of the best interviews that I've ever done. I felt very confident in my skills. I felt very confident in my abilities. I felt very confident about the knowledge that I would bring to the position. But long story short, I did not get offered the job. Yeah, at that time I was really hurt. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of dressing myself up, trying to look the part to convince somebody else, whether it's one person or a panel of people, that I am qualified and worthy of the position. That's what I felt like that day. Like it was up to me to prove to whoever was on the other end of the or the other side of the screen that I was the candidate for the position. And like I said, I did not get selected for this position. I did not get chosen for this position. So obviously it was not the job for me. And that hurt a little bit. I've applied for several jobs within the same system and been overlooked, and knowing that if it was a matter of meeting the qualifications, yeah, I got that. I got that. I got that. Check, 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 check. Yep, got that too. But I still was not the chosen one for this. And I've reflected on that, and really thought about the fact that sometimes, most times, and when positions such as this is posted, like, they already know who they're going to hire. So we go through the motions, and for me, I went through the motions of getting myself prepared, thinking I had the opportunity, and it wasn't for me. But who I am today and where I am today, I realized that that particular position wasn't for me. And had I got that position, had I demonstrated in such a manner that the committee, the panel, or whatever may have you felt that I was the most qualified for the position, I really feel if I would have been selected for that position, I would have gotten off track to what God really has for me. I would not have been able to walk into the fullness of what God really has for me. And I'm so glad my daughter sent me this picture this morning, because as I zoom in at the affirmation, and this is from a 21 days of affirmation um, I won't say book. It's not really a book, but it's like a flip book that I had created from some of my affirmations. Is this picture shows that the affirmation is on day 3, and the word of the day is set apart. And I cannot read what's on the affirmation. I'll go back and I'll add that. But I just know that I have been set apart, and who I am and what I bring to the world is valuable. And that's not for me, that's for all of us. Who we are and what we bring to the world is valuable. We have been set apart. We have been designed for a specific purpose. And the way I understand life now is I am beyond the point of trying to prove or communicate or dress up to look a certain way that goes beyond who I am to make somebody else see that, because that who I am at the core radiates. You know, my energy radiates, my frequency radiates. It doesn't have to be proven, it doesn't have to be talked about, it doesn't have to be written about, it doesn't have to be shared. I am the gift. I have been set apart for something so beautiful that is just for me. And I am so glad. Even though when I found out that I didn't get that position, because I honestly thought that it, like the job description seemed like it had been written just for me, it wasn't for me. That is not what God had designed for my future. And I am so glad that I realized that, and that I recognize that I have been set apart for something that is so spectacular and so amazing, that had I received that position as a result of that interview that day, I probably would be in another box of unhappiness. And so I'm thankful that I have been set apart, and that I recognize that that was not for me. There is healing in that. There is revelation in that. There is the assurance that who I am, regardless if I meet the qualifications of a position, that who I am is more than a position. Who I am is more than a panel of people deciding whether or not I'm the best candidate for the position. You know, I can't imagine what the conversation must have been like after my interview, because I know I interviewed well. My confidence was at an all-time lie, not lie, at an all-time high. My assurance in who I was at an all-time high. But guess what? I was not the chosen person. But today I realize that is quite okay, because I have been set apart for something so much bigger than that position. And I am ready to walk into that. So don't you ever lose sight of who you are and what you have been called to do, because you were not chosen for a certain position. You were not chosen by a certain person. You may feel rejected and looked over, but here I am to tell you, you have been set apart for something so amazing. And had you been chosen for that which you feel like you were the most qualified for, you would not be on the path to your wholeness and your purpose. So there is a healing release in that. And today I am so glad that I was not the chosen candidate for that position, because now I'm able to continue to walk the path that was designed specifically for me. Isn't that amazing? That's so amazing. Release.